Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we've just been given news that the other 3 starter legendaries are coming out with the next patch. So alongside Supreme Elhain, we're going to get the Galek version, the Athel version, and the Kael version. We're going to go through their kits right now. It looks like these ones, as far as we know, are only going to be available through shards. So unless they do like guaranteed events, stuff like that, there's not going to be what I thought was going to happen, the monthly follow-on fusions with all of these. For the 4th anniversary, it's like, we give you one, you need to go and find the other ones in Void Shards, which I guess is up to them. I feel like that. I personally would have much preferred for them to say, choose your starter hero, like the original Choose Your Starter Hero, and you get to pick which one of the 4 you want to go for. Is that not a better idea, Raid? Can you not still change it today? Anyway, let's look at the other 3. So for each of these, they've given us a little film clip to see what they actually look like. This is Supreme Athel. I'm not sure if I feel like they're quite different enough from their original starters. Like, when you go from Athel to Dark Athel, you really felt like it was a different character. This one just feels like it's very similar. Slight upgrade of the visuals. Obviously, they look good. I don't know if it feels quite supreme enough, but let me know what you think on that. So let's check it out. Let's check out the kits. I've not read any of these yet, so you're getting it firsthand. Again, they're all Void Legendaries, right? So we've got ourselves some Void shenanigans. The trouble with Void Legendaries is they need to be at a high bar. Because if they're out in the shard pool, they're just going to water down the already kind of available Void Legendaries. And what you don't want is a bunch of trash in this group. So let's check out Athel here. Array 1 is a single hitter instead of a multi-hitter. That's interesting. Attacks one enemy. If any enemies are under a freeze, also attacks them. Interesting. Decreases the enemy's attack by 3% whenever she hits an enemy with this skill, up to 30%. So 10 A1s, all of a sudden you've got 30% less attack on an enemy. The only place where that's really relevant is obviously like long duration fights. If you're doing 10 hits, that fight's going to take you at least 5 minutes. Yeah, which pretty much, unless you're doing clan boss, I don't know where you do that. There's not many places in the game right now where this is going to come into action. Also increases this champion's attack by 3% as well. So enemy loses 30% of theirs. Athel gains 30%. It's an interesting mechanic. If this was a multi-hitter, like a 4-hitter, and you're stacking up like that, then I'm like that. Perfect. This is actually cool. When it's a single hit, 10 hits is a long time. Cold Company on the A2 then. AoE hit. Attacks all enemies. Ignores Strengthen, Ally Protect, and Unkillable on enemies under freeze. Then has a 100% chance of placing a freeze. Okay. Feels a little bit like Supreme Athel in a way. Like, sorry, Supreme Elhain. Like, it's obviously meant as an arena champion. But unless you're dealing with Stone Skin, I don't know that it works. The freeze comes after, which is cool, because if you're trying to hit someone with freeze, then you lose damage for that. Could be interesting. I mean, as a control ability, going through some nasty debuffs and buffs is actually kind of cool. But I don't know, it only does it if enemies are under freeze already. So you've got to freeze them first before you can then do this. It just screams of there's too much that needs to happen to make this decent. There's a chance of you already having freeze out before this. I mean, there's only maybe if your Kael's in the team, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Ever Faithful on a 5-turn books to 4. Places increased attack on her, plus increased crit rate. And a shield buff on this champion for 3 turns. Then gets an extra turn. So she gets all of the juicy stuff. The shield's based on her attack. She gets some good buffs. And then she basically goes into the A2. This is books to a 3-turn. And because this cycles as an extra turn mechanic, you will get back to this quite quick. Interesting. The A2, A3, they're interesting. But I don't know if she's bringing enough value. It's obviously meant as an arena champion. I don't know if she's bringing enough value to arena. Obviously, look, don't get me wrong. If you pull this champion on a mid-game account, she's probably going to go straight in as one of your arena champs, yeah? Being able to bring a freeze debuff and a Doom Tower Waves champ, Faction War Waves champ, All of that stuff works. I'm just thinking if she's going to be like an endgame arena for this kind of new PvP era, I don't think she's cutting it so far. Frosty Glare then, passive. 15% chance of placing a freeze on attackers for 1 turn when hit whilst under shield. 35% chance of placing freeze on all enemies whenever a shield buff on this champion is removed by damage. That's quite cool. Maybe she's basically like a wave machine because this goes up to 50%. Yeah, you put a shield set champion in your team or a bolster set champion in your team or someone like a Brogni. And against waves, this is very annoying. Multiple chances to get freezes, ignoring all of the nasty stuff, freezing again, more damage when they're frozen. All of that's quite interesting. The A1, though, doesn't make sense alongside the rest of the kit. I'd say so far, Supreme Elhain is kind of like that. Supreme Athel maybe is just a tweak more up, but still feels for a Void Legendary very much like a normal Legendary to me. That's my view. Let's go to the next one. Okay, then we're going to check out Supreme Galek here. This probably is going to be their best one, right? He's their poster boy. All of their new ads are going to be with this fella in, I'm sure. Looking cool. I like the armor. I do like the upgraded look to Galek here. He does feel meatier, feels better. But yeah, is he going to be better? We shall see. Supreme Galek, Exemplar of Rage, A1 double hitter. Finally, we got a double hitter A1. That's good. Each hit an extra 10% chance of inflicting a crit. So you would only need 90% crit rate to get him to crit on his A1. That's interesting. Each hit also 40% chance of increasing the duration of a burn. Okay, like it. Books up to 60% chance. And actually, it looks like you booked to 30% chance of an extra hit as well. So only 70% crit rate needed to crit with that skill. Quite cool. We've got a 4-hitter at random. I'm not sure if I like that. It's cool when you've got one boss to face, like Fire Knight. Drops the 4 hits all in the same place. If you're up against someone like Spider, then it throws it all over the place at those Spiderlings. We're not enjoying that. Attacks 4 times at random. Places increased attack on himself for 3 turns. We like that. Each hit, again, has got like another, 35% chance of inflicting a crit. So we're still on that 70% is a winner type of line. Each hit also 100% chance of instantly activating burns and decreasing the duration of those HP burn debuffs by a turn. That's cool. Fills his champion's turn meter by 30% if 3 or more burns are activated during the attack. That's cool as well. So far, as long as we see HP burn in the next skill, this guy is easily the best that we've seen out of these legendaries. In fact, make him the fusion. Oh, if this guy was the fusion. Damn, that would be good. Unreasoning Outburst. 4 turn books to a 3. 3/3. So far pretty good with the kind of cooldowns here. AoE ability. An extra 10% books to another 35. I'm assuming the books do count for the chances to crit, by the way. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's actually just straight. You've got a 10% increased chance to crit. And this buff debuff chance doesn't affect it. I'm thinking about it. So the numbers don't make sense. So maybe it's just he's a 90% crit rate type of dude. I might have got it wrong at the start there. Comment below if you know for sure, by the way. So we've got here, 100% chance of placing HP burn and block buffs for 2 turns. This one is screaming like Hydra Monster. He's buffing himself, which means you can build him to be Head of Mischief tank. He's got HP burn across the whole team with Ignite HP burn, with Extend It. Very cool, actually. Also places decreased speed on targets whose turn meter is higher than 50%. That's very cool for most content as well. Spider, Sorath, Hydra. This dude is more like the real deal. This is more like a kit for a Void Legendary, yes. Laugh at Danger here on his passive. Whenever this champion receives Fear, True Fear, Freeze, Provokes, Sleep, Stun, or Petrification, instantly removes it on a 4-turn cooldown, then fully heals him and gives him another turn. Damn, that's an insanely cool passive. Especially, this dude is going to be wrecking Hydra. This is the type of champion we want raid. Supreme Elhain, Supreme Athel, Supreme Galek. Yeah, see the difference. So this guy is cool. Increase attack in all battles as well. Okay, we've got ourselves a champion. Right then, last one up is Supreme Kael. Probably the one that everyone wants to see. Dark Kael is a beast anyway, right? From Doom Tower, very cool champion. Normal Kael, king of the starters. This guy, again, kind of prefer the visual here. Feels more like Dark Kael. Yeah, it's got a bit of a vibe to him. We like it. Let's see what his kit is actually like. So, Supreme Kael. So far, in life, Kael wins, yeah? He wins hard. Looks like so far Supreme Galek is where it's at. So, how does this other Void Legendary fare against the others? Exemplar of Skill. Attacks all enemies. Books to 75% chance of placing Weaken. Cannot be resisted. That is an A1. That is an A1 right there. AoE hit, 75% chance of a Weaken that can't be resisted. Wow. That's more like it. That's a Void Legendary type of skill on an A1. If that hits for any type of damage as well, wow. What an A1. That's crazy. Putrescence. I think I said that right. Another AoE. So that's 2 AoEs so far. Christ, this guy's got 3 AoEs. 100% chance of placing 3 poisons. These cannot be resisted. Wow. That's an A2. Also increases the duration of all enemy debuffs by a turn. Cannot be resisted. Wow. Okay. This is cool. A3. Arcane Havoc. AoE again. Places increased accuracy on allies for 2 turns before attacking. 75% chance of placing decreased resistance on all enemies. Cannot be resisted. Fills his champion turn meter by 10% for each decreased resistance. This is a kit. This is a kit. I'm wondering if he's going to do any damage, honestly. Because his kit is so debuff heavy. It would be honestly insane if he's also a beast for damage. But decreased resistance. Doesn't need accuracy to land it. Is brilliant. Poisons, yes. Cool in a lot of content. Perhaps falls off a bit later on. Although for hard dungeons, maybe it comes back to its own. No multi-hits. So not going to be any good for the new Fire Knight. But damn, that is a kit right there. He's also got this passive. Decrease each target's accuracy, crit rate, and crit damage by 3% for each poison on them. So you're going to get the closest part of 9 to 10% decreased stats. I guess if you've got someone like Calvalax in your squad as well, all of a sudden that goes up to more like, what, 7 poisons, 20-odd%. That's actually a lot. In PvE content, that's a lot. In PvP, probably 20% less accuracy. It's a lot. It is actually a lot. If there are multiple champions on the same team with this skill, only one will activate. Okay. Galek and Supreme Kael, yes. Elhain and Athel, I don't really feel like they're cutting it. But, if only they let us choose. If only they let us choose which of those we'd want to go for. Definitely, I would not be picking Supreme Elhain out of those 4. Let me know in a comment down below, guys. What do you think of these champions? Are they what you wanted from the Supreme version of the starter heroes? Or do you think they're watering down the void pool? I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.